All right. Welcome to Bikas Web channel. My name is Bikas and I'm here back again with another video. And this video is going to be a short video and we are going to implement Mobx state management. I already have another video, a long series where I have implemented Mobx as a state management. I'll put the link in the description. You can find it from there. But here in this video, we are going to build a simple to-do application and use state management as a Mobx and see how we can do that. So if that sounds cool, if that's what you are looking for, smash the like button. And if you are new to this channel or haven't subscribed already, then subscribe this channel as well as press the bell notification icon. That way you will be notified every time I upload new videos. That being said, let's start the video. Alright, I'm here in VS Code and this is a project I created with Vite. So all you need to do is just have a yarn and then create Vite, and then you can choose whatever the project you want. I choose React TypeScript and I have React TypeScript here, and this is a Vite project. You can see I have cleared out everything that is not needed, and now all I have is this application here which is saying hello, and that's what you can see in this screen. Alright, so before we start installing Mobx, let's try to do a bit of setup for to-do application. So in to-do's application, we will have an input field and we will have to-do items, and we will also have completed items, right? So that's what we will be doing. Okay, so let's start here. And I think I'm going to do everything in this application, or maybe not. Okay, maybe we will create a component. I keep on changing my mind always, so this is sort of live. I haven't prepared anything, so I will just call these components, and then here inside I will have a new thing called to do items, and I will just give it, okay, that's a folder. And actually we don't need this folder, so I'm just thinking, why did I even created that? Okay, so let's go here and let's just say to do items.tsx. okay, so after that I will just say this, and we have to do items, and now we can import these to do items here. So let's just say to do items, and at the moment it actually does nothing. Then the next is we want to have let's have some sort of heading and say to-do list, and then we will also have a input field. Okay, so I'll just create a container. First of all, let's just wrap all of these in a container. I'm not going to so much worry about any styling. However, let's just have a container there, and then this is a to-do list, and then we can have input. So I will just have input that it will be type text, and for now this is all. I will have a placeholder, say enter a to-do, and what else do we want? Then we will probably want to have a button, and this will say a to-do. Okay, and this is good. So we have an enter to do, and that's already good, and I think for our purpose that's enough. So the next thing is to do items. So we'll have a to do items, and that's where we need to create a store. So store is anything where you will be having all the datas, all the setups and everything. So that's what we will be dealing with. So let's go and let's install a couple of things. So I'll just open another terminal here, and inside this project I'm going to add Mobx, and also we will be installing Mobx React, and that's good. Okay, so a little bit about Mobx. Let's just go here and check it out. So there are things like make observable, observable action, Mobx, and so on. And actually this already has everything we want. Okay, it has toggles and such. However, we can actually already make a use of this. And then okay, so this is a to-do list, so it will have to-dos, and there are like different kind of things. So So you can check this, and it actually already has everything dedicated just for to-do list. And this is observer, and the idea of observer is when you are wrapping your component with observer, whatever happens, whatever the state update and rendering everything, that will automatically re-render your component, whichever component you have wrapped with observer. And for that reason, okay, we have installed only Mobx React, but this is Mobx React Lite. Okay, so I think first thing we need to do is go and create a store. So just a practice, I will create a folder called store. Okay, and then inside a store I will call todoStore.ts, so it will be a TypeScript one. Okay, then we have to go inside our to-do store, and let's import something, and these are all from Mobx, at least for now. So I guess the first thing here is make auto observable. What it does is it makes your store observable, meaning you will have this benefit of changing state updates and so on. So let's go here and call this as a class, and I will call it to-do store, and then I will just initiate it like how I do with any classes. And then just realize we may want to also have some typings. Just thinking where we can have a typing. Okay, let's just go here and gives types. We can also do types inside here, but I don't know, it's a good practice. So I'll just go here and say to do type tx, and we need to do to do type. So export type and to do type, and what do you think we will have it? We will have title, so that will be string, and then we will have is completed, so that will be boolean, and I guess we will have also id, and that will be string. And I think we will install something for id, or maybe we'll just do some math random or anything. However, this is what we will have. Okay, so this is good. Now we go here in to do, and then here we will have to dos, and that will be an array of to do type, that one we just created, and initially it's going to be empty, I guess, like this. Okay, then surely we can also do some computed way, and that probably is good. However, I think this is good for our list for now. And what happens is you have to have some constructor, and then you can just say make this. What this means is whatever you will add here, okay, in this case we have only to dos, but you can make anything that you have assigned here observable. Okay, there was also a version where if you don't have make auto observable, then you have to make everything also here, like define the type, what is it observable, is it action, and so on. And probably Mobx may have some like something like this. So if we don't use make auto observable and make observable, then first you need to initialize this kind of things, and then here you need to tell that what is what. So for example, this toggle is action, and this finished is observable, title is observable, and so on, and you say toggle is action. However, when we use make auto observable, then we don't need to worry about all this individual thing, because as the name suggests, it automatically does that for us. Okay, so far we haven't done anything. We just created a class, we have this variable, okay, and we are just using this make auto observable, and I already told you that it makes anything what you assign here automatically observable, and it also knows what types it is, and so on. Okay, and you will see the benefit of this later. So the next thing is we actually need to, how do we want to handle this? So we need to create a couple of actions. So first one is, I guess, add to do, and this is a function. So just like here, this action, you can do the same thing. So we have an action here, so we have a to do here. You don't need to write the name function because it is inside a class. So you have a to do, and then what this to do will take, I guess, is we will just have a title, and that title will be string, because when you are adding a to do here, we will have a title, and when someone clicks this add to do, we will do everything here. So the first thing is, now we will create a payload. Okay, so what we can do is, I'm just thinking, so when someone creates a to do, we want to do this dot to do's dot push, or actually what I can do is, I think that's good. So here inside, what I want to do is, title is whatever the title we are getting, and then we need to create ID, and then we also have is, what was it, so is completed, and initially it's false. So now we need to give an ID here, and there are several ways you can deal ID. In my case, I think, I'm just thinking, should I just install, or let's just go and install p4 UUID. I think this is good. So let's go here. Okay, so I'll just go and copy this. So let's go here and add, was it UUID? Yes. Okay, so now I'll go here and just do this, and probably it doesn't have types. Okay, let's install also type for this. Okay, so now here all I need to do is what it says here, UUID v4. So UUID v4, and this way now we are creating a new to do. So every time someone calls this function, this action, and I will show you how we can call this from anywhere in our project, and that's the beauty of state management. So you have this one store, one place, one central location, and then you are calling this from anywhere. Because if you were to do something like this here, so let's say we will have to do's, and then we will have something called set to do's, and then you will have React use state, and then you will have some to do here. So, and then you need to also handle separate functions and so on, and you will push it here. So maybe you will have set to do's will be, and then like whatever the to do you are passing and so on. And then, but the problem with this kind of approach is this will only stay in this application component, and you cannot use this from anywhere else. And I have made a complete video about what is state management and so on. So I think you already know about that. So we are trying to not do this, but making a store somewhere else, and then using this wherever, in whatever condition of our component. So that's the idea. And now with this, every time someone calls this function, passes this title, it will add a new to-do list. That is good. The next one we want to handle is edit to do. Actually, for that I can already copy this, okay, and then just make this edit to do, and then here we will actually want to have a payload. So there are several ways of doing this, and one thing is you can just pass ID and then whatever you want to do with it. In our case, we will only do mark as completed, I guess. So in that case, we even don't need actually this name edit to do. The idea is that if you are letting your user to actually edit the items itself, then probably we will need it. Otherwise we will not need it. So I'm just thinking, do I really want to do this, or do I want to do that toggle is completed? So I think that's what we want for now. So what does toggle is completed means is that we have this is completed boolean. So we create a to-do list which will be false. That means it's not completed in the beginning. That's what it's called to do. And when someone clicks something, then it will go to completed thing. But if we want that to also be not completed, then we can toggle. So in that case, all we need is we need ID here, and that ID is whenever we create a new to do, we have this. And then in that case, just for a second, I need to do something. So first of all, I need to find to do. So let's say, just thinking, we need index. So we can find index. Index. So index of to do will be this to do's dot find index, and then the index will be to do dot id is same as whatever the id we are passing here. So that way we have an index, and then all we need to do is this dot to do's index is going to be, so with this dot to do dot index, that means whatever the index we are talking about, we want to edit this. So what we want to make it is, we want to do this dot. Okay, so hold on, I want something here, and this will be this dot to do's index. So we are getting that object. However, all we want is completed is going to be the opposite of I am not sure if this will be enough. If not, we will fix it, but for now this is toggle implement. And then the last one is delete to do, and for that also we need id, and all we need is we also need index here, or actually we don't even need this index. We can just say it will be the to-dos, and then what we want is to-dos dot filter, and to do dot id is not equals to this id. I think this is deleted. So far we have managed to do a to-do list here, and we have add to do, and we have deleted to do, and we have toggles to do. So if we want, we can also create some computed value. That means, for example, we can say get, and then it will be, well, we can just say get incomplete to-dos. So it will be a function, and it will return this dot to-dos dot filter, and that will be to do, where to do dot, so whatever is not completed, that will be incomplete to do. And then you can also have another, and you can just say completed to do's, and that will be this one. So I guess with this we have almost everything we want, and now we can just say const to do store is new to do store, and then we can expose default and to do store. You see, this is all we need in Mobx. So this is the simplicity of Mobx. All these things, whether you do it in Mobx, you do in Redux, you do also inside this component, you need all this handler anyway. However, in Mobx, you don't need to have any wrapper. You don't need to go to your main root label. You don't need to create a store there and then pass that as a props to anything. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is use this, create this store. which is a class, you export this. You can do everything inside that. With make auto observable, you even don't need to individually, like here, you don't need to even define anything here. For example, these are now computed. Okay, so we don't have to put that as computed. These are actions. We don't have to mention those as action. And this is observable. Okay, so this is all good here. And then the beauty of this Mobx is whenever something in to do changes, it will automatically compute this, it will automatically compute this, and so on. I'm still not 100% sure about this behavior here, which we will come and do it again if needed. However, other than that, I think this is good. So the next is we should be using this somewhere. Okay, so where should we use? All right, so to go here, we have an input here, and then what we can do is we can just create one local state. Technically, if we want, we can even here call something called current to do payload, and then have it here. So that will be something like to do type, and then here you can even show that title is empty string, and so on. This is what you can do it, but I think we don't need to do that. For this we can just have here to do payload, and then I can, and then here initially it will be empty string, because that's all we care about. So now on change here, we will get E, and then all I want is set to do payload, that will be E dot value. So that's all I care here, and then also in the value I can give okay, so that's good. And then in the button, so on click, here is what we want to do. So we need to import this to do store. So let's go here and let's just call this a to do. So I'll just call it to do. Okay, so first of all we need to import that. So let's go here. I'll move this CSS over here, and then somewhere here I will import to do store. Okay, so what you can do is you can also do const here, and then do something like this, and then you have to do store, and here you can just say a to do. You can either do something like this. So now you can see that you can import this to do store just like anything, any class, any object, any component you will import anywhere. It can be in a parents component, it can be in a children component, and so on. And I'll show you how we can also import it inside here. First one is we can pass the list from here. That is one way we can do, or we can directly import this inside there. The good practice would be to actually pass items from here. However, I will do so that we can import there, so you can see that how we can call this from different components. Okay, so we have this, and I can just call it to do, and it will expect this string, remember, so, and that will be nothing than whatever the payload we have. And we need to also import React. Okay, I guess this is good. I think so. Let's just go here in this add to do, and I'll just console log here. This is being called, and we can even pass the title. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to console here. Okay, React is not defined. Okay, now it's defined. So new to do. Okay, so this is being called. That's good. All right, so That's good. There is some problem there, and we will fix that later. So the next thing we want to do is, let's actually go here in todos item, and here just like this I can import todoStore from here. And then, like I said, you can also define a props here, and that will actually take this todoStore and do things inside here. However, as I said, just for this purpose I'm not going to do anything, so I can just go here. This can be todos container, and what we want two class todos incomplete, and we also want completed. Okay, so here they both will actually have same thing. So here what we want is, we just want, actually we can even have a separate function or a component, and let's just go here and let's create a component. Actually here this we can say todo item, and then so what happens here is we'll get a prop. Okay, so props, and first thing we will need actually, let me make this interface, and props extend todo type, but on top of that we also need on toggle, and that will be for now just void function. And then we need on delete, and that will be also void, and these both of them will take id, which is string, and this will also take that. So this will be a prop, and so here I can call, say, props, and then here you can actually get id, you can get title, title, you can get is completed, you can get on delete and on toggle. Okay, so this is our to do item, and we will be using this. So how are we going to use this? I'll just give it a class name of to do item, and then what we want is, we want it with p paragraph. So we want something here that is going to be we want title, and then we want also input type. So we want input checkbox, and then checked. It will be checked if this is completed. We don't need name, we don't need id. Okay, and then we also need a button, and we can just say delete, and what it does is on click it will just call on delete, and okay, so it is not enough, so on delete we need id. Okay, and then here also on change we need okay, so I think we have pretty much everything. Okay, there is a problem here and it should be title. Okay, so I think we already have our item. Maybe the design is not so good, so all I will go here is go to our FCS and I will just say display flex. Okay, so now we go here and then here we'll need a couple of things. So I'll just do something like this from todoStore, and what I need is incomplete to do and completed to dos. Okay, that's good. And then here I can have S3 to dos, and then here I can have completed. All right, so now the next thing is we just need to loop. We can even create a separate component for this since they will have the same property. However, I'm not going to do that. So all I need here is I'll just need to do incomplete to dos dot map and it will give me to do, and then all I need to do is call to do item like this, and then post I need to give key, and key will be to do.id, and then rest I need to pass. Okay, I guess cannot pass to do here, and then I also need to pass on delete, and that will be from here delete to do, and then toggle is completed. So on delete I need to do delete to do, and then there is on toggle. I guess if I do the same thing also here, and instead of this I need to do completed to dos. All right, so now let's go here and let's see. Okay, so first thing I will add a new thing, new to do. Okay, so it is not reflecting here. Let's see what is the reason. So cannot read properties of undefined reading to dos. Okay, so understandable, and I think it starts from here. So okay, so I'm doing some sort of a weird thing here. Let's see what's the thing that I have missed here. Well, you know what, let's just make a payload. Well, I can even say to do payload, and then that will be that, and then this dot, I mean, I don't think this itself will change because it's basically doing the same thing. I think the reason behind this is this function, how I have initiated. So I think what I can do is I can change this to an arrow function, I guess. So if I do it to do, I'm not so sure if this will fix, but I'm hoping it's a reason that this is not okay. So let's refresh, say new to do. Okay, so this is being called, the warning is gone. However, we are not getting things as we want to. So there is something, and we actually saw it here. Okay, so let's just remove this. Let's refresh it. Okay, so I understand the problem behind this, and this is a good problem that we actually faced it. And the reason why it's not working like we want is we did everything, however we forget to do one important thing, and that is this one, this observer, which I was talking about it. So actually our state is changing, however we are not wrapping our component in this so that it doesn't reflect the change immediately. So to do that, let's go to our component. We can actually do it anywhere. I think the best one probably is here. So let's just go here, and I'll just do import. How was it? Import. Okay, so let's go here. So, and that is, so now this function here, I need to wrap this inside an observer. So what I can do is, actually no, let's change this to an arrow function, and then that way we can have something like this. And then so we need to wrap not this but actually this here, and I guess like this. So that's one thing, and I think we need to also wrap this item, hopefully that will. So let's just go, let's copy this one here, and then I'll just call this, and here I will. Okay, so now let's go here and let's refresh. We have a to-do list, make a video, and you can see that we have this to do and then another to do. So we have this another to do, and if I toggle this, it will go to completed, and if I toggle this, it will go to completed. You can add another to do here, and if you delete this, it is deleted. If you delete this, this is deleted. If you toggle this, it goes back. So finally we did everything we wanted. I'm not going to style this anything further than this. However, you get the idea that to create a Mobx store, all you needed was this one file. Okay, I have it inside to do store, inside a store folder. You can have anywhere, and let's say you have a user store, you have a like every entity, every database column or table or whatever API route, or depending on whatever the things you are doing, you can have as many stores as you want. And then you need to create something like this. So wrap your component with observer, and then all you need to do is just store this. You don't need to dispatch, you don't need to do anything. Well, you are kind of dispatching it, but all it comes from the same store, and you can use it anywhere you want, and still you will get everything you want. So for example, even if we want to do something inside to do item, we can actually do it here. We don't need to even have this function here. We already have ID. So to be honest, if we don't want to pass it from here, then we can remove these props and then just get the function directly there. However, this is a good practice. Even in this case, instead of calling this function here, we should try to make this component as pure as possible. So technically I should be actually passing this as props, but I just wanted to show you how you can call it from different components. So that's the reason I did that. So I hope this video was useful for you. And with this approach, with this Mobx approach, you can create as complex thing as you want. You can even have some sort of init function here. You can fetch API in the beginning. So if you have, let's say, something called init function, and then you can call this init the very first when the component mounts, and then inside there you can do your API fetching whatever you want. And actually I have already done that in my previous video. If you go and check it in my YouTube video, there is a project called Easy Link Application where we have done full stack, and there in the last part, the final part, I have actually used Mobx for such a API call and everything. I will put that video in the description, so you can just go and check it out. So I hope this video was useful for you, and you definitely now know one more state management out of many. And please give me your opinion. Do you like this better? Do you like Redux better? What is your view on this? I'm really looking forward to reading your comment and hoping to see you in new videos. Until then, keep coding. Bye bye.